Guys, and welcome to Love Yourself to Success podcast. I'm your host Aaliyah,
and I'm Chanel,
and we'll be discussing all things self-love related.
We'll be discussing unselfish self-love,
healing practices,
deep wisdom,
empowerment,
universal concepts,
manifestation,
mindset shift,
boundaries,
and communication,
reinvention,
and real deep truths.
This is Self-Love Redefined.
Hey guys.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Love Yourself to Success podcast. This week we're doing another segment of our relationship trilogy, and we're going to be covering family dynamics. Woo! So we're going to be discussing family dynamics and the family unit, society promoting broken families, friends and families, lack of support. You know, I mean, we're all going through so much at the moment. It's like, are you feeling supported by your friends and family? Nurturing relationships and how to maintain the relationships that are gold, because there are quite a few. Just got to weed them out. And we're also going to briefly touch on work relationships as well, so like with colleagues or business partners, and kind of our experience with that. I've got the best business partner.
Oh, thanks, you are too.
Thanks. Let go.
So there's so many different types of relationships. You have, obviously last week we covered romantic relationships between a man and a woman. And this week it is about family relationships with your friends, and some colleague relationship type vibes. And these relationships are, I find they're not really spoken about as much. And I feel like there's a big issue with like a lot of family, like households, homes, like family units, dynamics. I feel like there's a bit of a lack of a lot of solid families.
Yeah, and I think that's because society is trying to become accepting of everything, like in terms of your sexuality, in terms of single parent families, in terms of divorce rates being normal, like so high and being so normal, which once upon a time it wasn't. You know, you couldn't divorce, you would be frowned upon to like not get divorced. And whilst I appreciate society's efforts to practice non-judgment, because that's how I see it from a positive perspective, it also, we kind of lose sight of the reason of why solid family units are in place. And like, even speaking from experience, although I come from a single parent family, I still have had a relationship with my second parent, so it's not really affected me that much. And actually, I think it would have been healthy for my parents to have been separated than actually be together. But I still feel like you can still maintain traditional family values depending on how those two adults co-parent and act, right? But I feel like a lot of the reason, especially while the younger generation are so lost, is because parents aren't as connected with their children, because everyone's in a digital world. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, while I appreciate the practice of non-judgment, that's not really I don't believe that's a genuine narrative that they're trying to push.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just that people do grow up a bit more unbalanced, a bit more unstable.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
Like when you look at some families, like I've got friends who come from 2-parent families, everyone lives in the same house, they have some issues, but mostly it's nice. And then I see people who come from single parent families or broken homes, and I feel like I don't even hold in too much on the single parent families, because actually, like I said, if 2 parents can co-parent, the child can easily not be so affected. But broken homes, you know, children who have grown up witnessing abuse, alcohol, like it's a lot.
It is.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And without the right support and guidance, our younger generation are going to grow up lost and confused and out there just projecting their own shit on other people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And we hear so many people say, oh, like, especially when we talk about like black kids and all this kind of stuff as well, like people say, oh, you know, they're just bad and they just do this and they just kill each other and they just people need to understand, like, a lot of people have said it as well, but I think some people just don't, they're either so far detached from reality, or they literally just sometimes I think people want that narrative to be true, because if that narrative wasn't true, it would mean that we're in a really fucked up society that does project things that are tearing up our children, things that promote like family homes not being a unit, that this independent woman vibe, which is cool if you're single and you're not in a relationship, or you just haven't found the one, you're just focusing on yourself. Cool, do your thing. So you should. But this whole independent woman thing and this whole money over bitches. Yeah. How long can you keep on saying these things before it starts to have an effect on people and on the family unit? And it has. And even since, like, I feel like since slavery, and it's not just to make it work black people, because there's a lot of broken like homes and families, all different types of races, but we do find it a bit more, I've observed, it seems to be more of a westernized problem. And I feel like for black people, it's more of an issue in the Western world. And I feel like it started from slavery, you know. Men were separated from their families. Black women had to be extremely strong about that. They had to see the most nonsense. They had to grow several skins. Do you know what I mean? To be able to take care of the family, take care of the master and their kids, and do the most. Yeah. And internalize abuse herself. And then the man on the second hand is being ripped away from his family, having to see probably his wife get raped, and you know, and it's deep, but this is the truth, and these things scar us. These people that went through slavery are our ancestors, and they lived through that, and then they raised children with that trauma, and their children also had to live in slavery, and so on and so forth. And then you have society on top of that pushing a narrative to keep black people in a certain way, you know, weapons randomly turning up in certain neighborhoods, and drugs and all these kind of things. And it's like, when you are placing people in a certain situation, they're going to behave in a certain way, because that's how people operate. We change depending on what our environment is like, and I feel like society has pushed
survival mode,
you know, and it has led to a lot of families not understanding how important it is to be a nucleus, how important it is to support each other, how important it is to work through things. Not that if something's impossible, and because we are the first people to talk about balance and harmony and disharmony and attachment, but there is also communication and working through a situation, and asserting boundaries and listening to one another, and trying to put each other in a comfortable space with respect and love for each other, and also self-love. And we have a lot of different dynamics with the family. Sometimes, you know, we're squabbling. Sometimes there's abuse happening within the family. Sometimes there is just a broken family. And I don't know a lot of families that actually effectively co-parent. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people struggle with it. You know, it is more typical to hear that somebody's baby mums is giving them drama, rather than, oh, we have an amazing co-parenting relationship. It's true. You know, I hear that less. And people are just so riddled with trauma that they project on each other. Even when there is abuse happening in the home, the abuser is usually saturated in trauma. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's a vicious cycle. So I feel like communication, and even in the family, that sometimes there's elders, there's child abuse, there's so many things that have been swept under the rug, even within families as well. And I feel like out of self-love, you'll kind of say to yourself, I don't deserve to be abused. I don't deserve to be treated in a certain way. I don't deserve for actually someone to control my life. Even if that's my parents, they're telling me I have to be a doctor, or I have to go to do this, or first and foremost, you matter. Do you know what I mean? And if there's conflict in your home, if there's conflict with family members, friends, there's ways in which you can deal with that. Do you know what I mean? You can communicate, you can assert boundaries. And if people do not want to communicate with you or respect your boundaries, it's your choice at that point what you choose to do with that.
And you don't have to make allowances because you share the same bloodline.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's something that I've realised, like, although you might grow up and, you know, your parents encourage you to be close to your cousins or sisters or brothers or mum, dad, whatever, respect is earned. And I truly believe that, like, for me, it doesn't matter what your title is, you have to earn respect. Do you know what I mean? And if you act out of line, it's not gonna be dismissed just because you're related to me. Do you know what I mean? Because like you said, you come first, and if you're acting out of self-love, you should be able, and especially if it's your family, you should be able to say, do you know what, bro, that's not okay. And and you should be able to move on from it if that person genuinely cares about you. But yeah, I do sometimes wonder, I'm like, wow, look at our kids these days. You know, look how they're growing. They're so disconnected from a reality. Do you know what I mean? And it's crazy, like, especially with, like, even for me personally, I don't have a family yet. But when I do have a family, we are going to eat at a dinner table every day, and we are going to have no phones. Just because I think it's important. It's so, so important. And I feel like also, can we all take note of who we're choosing to have our kids by, please? Because, no, seriously, because sometimes I think in this day and age, women, ladies, sisters, if you don't want to get pregnant, you do not have to. There's actually no excuse. And yes, okay, things happen.
Some little bits happen.
Some things happen. But for those who can control it, you know, you should try to. And because until you're sure you want to bring a child into the world with the person that you've chosen to create with, you shouldn't be doing it. It's not fair on the child, especially if you know it's a toxic situation. And also, no child is going to mend your relationship.
No. And you shouldn't try to use your child as a pawn to control your ex-man. Do you know what I mean? Because I see, like, a lot of women do that. And it's not cute. No. It's not cute. And it's really bad for your kids.
Really bad.
Really bad for your kids. Like, unless your partner is like an imminent threat to your child, then there's amicable ways in which you can approach the situation. And it's all about the child. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of women do use their children as pawns. You can't see your child because, you know, because I don't like you. Because
or you've got a new girlfriend.
Or you've got a new girlfriend. Or, do you know what? You're not giving me money. Do you know what I mean? Okay, if he doesn't give you money because maybe he's not in a great position to, if he comes to his child every weekend and wants to spend quality time with them, let him do that.
To allow that. And it's a positive influence.
And he's not abusing you. He's not abusive to the child. It's about, some things are more than money. Do you know what I mean? And I think in this society, we've got the money disease. Do you know what I mean? And I say, I might sound contradictory sometimes, because sometimes I will say, we will talk about abundance and manifestation a lot. Do you know what I mean? Because money is just a vibration. That's it. It's a tool. Do you know what I mean? But we don't love money. Do you know what I mean? Like, we understand what its purpose is. It's a tool. And I think in society, they've got this twisted mentality and a twisted relationship with money, where I think a lot of problems are in this society are based off of trauma and people's relationship with abundance.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Because, you know, before I go too far off topic, but people have real jealousy issues, and this is sometimes why you can have problems with your friends sometimes. And
I feel like the foundation that it starts in the home, but from the foundation that you have from your family dynamic, that's gonna have an effect on who you choose as your friends. and the people that you choose to have around you.
Because more than likely, if your family is abusive towards you, or there's someone that's regularly abusive to you, whether that's verbally, mentally, or physically, you're likely to pick up friend groups
and be more accepting
traits
towards it.
Yeah, because you'll just be used to it.
Yeah, and it just seems familiar, so it seems normal.
Yeah,
and it's like I hear some people's lives, and I'm like, how did that happen, or how? Do you know what I mean? But it just shows you people are in different journeys, and people have grown up. And when I hear their backstory of how they grew up and this happened, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You know, they used to being treated this way.
Yeah.
They've not seen their worth. They've not seen their value. But like Chanel said, like, we all have a choice. And when you go out into the world and you are networking with other people, meeting new people, working with new people, you have a choice of who you choose to have in your small circle. It's like I was saying to Chanel earlier, like, I've always naturally not had many close friends, to be completely honest. Like, I've always had like a small group. I've had a lot of friends, but I do believe friends that are put in different groups. And I feel like the main three groups are like your longtime friends who, you know, you've known for a while, you respect each other, your Facebook friends, and you keep up, you check in every now and then online. And then you have your other group of friends who are kind of just your friends who, like, you might party with or just catch up every now and then. And then you have your real, like, growth friends, your sisters. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying don't nurture the other relationships, but don't feel guilty that you have to keep on top of all these other different friendship groups. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like at the end of the day, our friends reflect us, and that's how I believe that. Like, all my friends, I'm like, yeah, you lots are on stuff. You inspire me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they're either above me, inspiring me, or they're just right next to me grinding together. Do you know what I mean? And for me, it's so nice to see that reflection of myself in my friends. And they're the relationships that I nurture, they're the relationships that I make time for, the friends that support me, the friends that just check on me and be like, how are you today, are you good? Do you know what I mean? And a lot of other friendships, those people aren't checking on you. Do you know what I mean? So it's really important to be confident that you can choose the right friends, and also be confident in if someone isn't doing what you deem as acceptable or treating you how you deem acceptable, don't make excuses for them because they got a nice car, or because they know this person, they can get you into here, or don't do it, because it's only going to affect you in the long term.
Well, actually, interesting exercise I heard was this is more relationships, but I'll give it to you anyway. Like, if you got a guy that treats you kind of shit, if you take away in your mind, if you visualize taking away his good looks, you take away anything else that is that he has that you feel like makes you think, oh, it's like maybe he's got a lot of money, or maybe he's got a lot of this or whatever that, and you're just like, oh, you know, if you take those things away and just only observe the behavior, it can be quite a good way to break that attraction spell. Oh, he's just so cute, so he can just turn up when he wants. Oh my God, he's so cute. Do you know what I mean? But, and you know, and
same
it's
for
the
friends,
same thing.
though.
Yeah, exactly. So friends, family, just because someone's your family, they're related to you, doesn't matter. If they are abusing you, treating you badly, you don't have to deal with that. Friends, the same thing. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes I've got friends that I don't see for a while. Do you know what I mean? I might not see them for like a couple of years, and when we speak to each other, we're cool as heck. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no neediness. Do you know what I mean? Some of your friends are just needy. Like, if you want to check up on me, it's cool, and I'll check up on you sometimes. But sometimes people just get a bit busy, and that's cool. Do you know what I mean? But you can sometimes tell the difference between when someone's just a bit busy in their own stuff, or if you're just friends that kind of just doing your own thing in that moment, to when somebody's just moving sideways, or they're just not really checking for you. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference, you know.
And I feel like as well, like me and Chanel was touched on this earlier, like I feel like our society, just that relationship, has lost touch in how to nurture and maintain relationships. And I feel like we live in a cancel culture, right? So as soon as someone does something that's a bit you completely cut them off. But there's levels to it, because I was saying, for example, I've got a friend who's always late, always late, and it irritates me. But at the same time, I'm just like, okay, because I know if you say 6, that means 8, so I'll just make sure I'm ready for 8. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not putting myself out, but I know how she is.
Yeah.
But I'm accepting of that, because all her other qualities are amazing. So I'm like, right, if you're always late, I can work with that.
Yeah.
Because outside of that, you're great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like people do have to be more accepting to people's flaws, and unless it's not directly affecting your life in a negative way,
it's not directly aimed at you.
Yeah, and it's not personal. Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Like maybe one of your friends got just bad time management.
Yeah,
another
she
one
has.
Of your friends might,
and she knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even sometimes people are a bit of a gossip,
Yeah.
and they don't always mean it. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes with those people, you could say, do you know, I know she's got an okay heart. She's all right. She's an all right bird.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But her mouth's a bit big.
Yeah.
So when we talk, I'll just talk about what I want. I don't mind her talking about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
you know.
Yeah. And it's just know what levels it. It's not about being like, you know, she's got a bit of a big mouth, so I'm just going to cut her off. If you know she's a cool people, sometimes it's about analysing where to place someone and how to take them. You got to,
and what their role is.
Exactly. And this is something I always assess. I always say, are their intentions good or bad?
Yeah.
Not what did they do, was it good or bad? And don't get me wrong, like sometimes from the gate, what they did,
tell.
you know what it is, innit?
Yeah,
Like if your man has, if your friend slept with your man or something, it don't really matter what happened, innit? Yeah. So just know, we know, but I don't need to talk to you, don't need to know intentions. I know that you just went mad. Do you know what I mean? You went mad. But like, if it's a thing where someone does something and you're like, right, that's blatantly liberties. But if someone's your friend, you should be able to look at them and say, you kind of know what that person's about. Even when you got a fuckery's friend, deep down inside, you know that friend's a bit fuckery.
Yeah.
Like, i.e., I used to have a friend, and when we used to be getting ready, and we'd all be getting dressed up, she would never be like, oh, babes, you look cute, or babes. And I'm the kind of girl, I'm like your hype man, innit?
Yeah.
But not like a cheating. If your face is orange because you put too much makeup on or something, I would say, babes, you need to blend it in a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I would tell you straight, kindly. But if you're looking good in your fire, I'm like, girl,
you look good. Yeah.
You know, like that's my vibe. But you know, so sometimes, you know, some girls are just they're just not about that life. They're just chilled. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you know, girls are just haters. Do you know what I mean? And so one of my friends would never, and I know I can turn up. Do you know what I mean? But she'll never say anything. And I never really cared. But it's only like actually after we started talking, I looked back at all those things. And when I observed back on our relationship, I was like, I could just see that you was mad insecure. I could see that you was never really happy about certain things, or never really happy for me, or blah blah blah. So deep down inside, sometimes you know, like if somebody you're around is kind of like your girl, and she's kind of like usually there, got your back, but she does something fucked up. Sometimes it's just a mistake. Yeah. Sometimes somebody just didn't realise they've passed a boundary. Yeah. Sometimes do you know what I mean? Sometimes there's that. So that's where communication comes in. So if I can say, do you know what? I know that you're not a fucked up person. Like, you're generally quite a nice person. You generally usually have my best interests at heart. Generally, you keep it real with me. Do you know what I mean? Then I'm like, okay, cool. You know, but if I feel like your intentions inside, you made that. Yeah, was it a mistake, or did you do that on purpose? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's like a little deciding factor that sometimes I'll use. You know, I can forgive someone if they make a mistake. You know, it's cool, especially if you can apologise for it. Yeah. You know, I respect someone a lot more 100%. If they can just come to me and just tell me what's up.
And to be honest with you, it's interesting to me what people like in their friendships, but I've seen friendships where like people say, oh, we're best friends, but they can't say something to that person that they know that person's not necessarily going to like, because they're scared of what their friend might think of them, or they think that my friend might be offended. Yeah. But for me, if you're a true friend, I should be able to speak my truth and you should be able to speak your truth at all times. Obviously, how you communicate that is extremely important. But ultimately, if you know someone's, like, for example, if Chanel was like to me, Aaliyah, girl, that outfit's it's not for you, I'll be like, cool. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like I know she genuinely cares for me and she's not going to have me going out looking silly. Do you get what I'm saying? Where some people might be like, oh, you're just saying that because you're mad at da-da-da. Do you know what I mean? No.
But there's even girls that be like, yeah,
let me leave it.
face
Let me
is
not tell her.
orange.
Yeah, let me not tell her. Do you know what I mean? I want to be the Beyonce this evening.
Oh,
It's so embarrassing. No, honestly, because
man.
we live in a world where it's so abundant. If you tap into that, you're in competition with no one else. We were all made here for a reason. We're all uniquely different for a reason. We all have our own gifts. We all have our own power. And if you all stepped into that as sisters, because that's what we all are, like women would run the world 100%. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like they would.
And it's so frustrating to look at though. It's like,
it is.
I'm just like, when you're, and because I've been like, back in the day, I've been a person that I have looked at things on, especially on social media and little bits and bobs, and I thought, oh, that person is living their best life. Or like, this is like quite a long time ago though. And sometimes I would look at things and I think, oh, that person living their best life and da-da-da. But I've always mostly found inspiration through people. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I can see why jealousy happens, why friendships sometimes can be a bit difficult, especially between women and even men. Like, men will be hating on each other all the time.
I know.
Can you stop?
Yeah.
Can you stop? Like, people just don't realize how abundant the world is, and all the time when you're looking at other people like, oh, they got this, they got that, and they're doing this and they're doing that, you're just taking away from yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
You're just leaking out your energy all over, looking at other people's life on Instagram, chatting shit about other people because you're unhappy about your own stuff. You don't have enough stuff going on with your own life.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And we might sound like we're being a bit blunt, but we can be blunt because we are a bit blunt. Aaliyah and Chanel are a bit blunt sometimes. We'll kind of keep it real sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, like, you know, some people are in a victim mentality, judging each other, hating on each other and projecting on each other, not communicating with each other. And this reflects in our family dynamics, in our like the way we are with our peers at work. Do you know what I mean? The way we are in our relationships with our friends, family, everyone. Do you know what I mean? It affects everyone. And all these little traumas that we have inside are misguided perceptions of what the world is really about and our place within it. A lot of us are running off of incorrect programs, and it's really killing people. It's killing people. It's killing their happiness.
It is.
Like, you're so bitter, so unhappy for people that are doing well,
and some people just don't know why.
Yeah, and it's like, it's because you're not happy inside. If you're a person that you are ever looking at anybody's life and you're not happy for them if they're doing something that they love, not that you're gonna be like, oh my god, this girl's living her best life.
Have a whole breakdown.
Okay, no, you know, but if you're happy inside, your natural reaction isn't going to be that of an upset reaction. Or you're naturally going to want to support because that's how I feel.
Yeah, not 100%.
Like, when I see someone that I like and someone that I check for, do you know that I can even see someone that I don't know? If I see something online, oh girl, yeah.
So I was trying to hold
working
it
all day.
No, you know what? I was trying to hold it in, but it wasn't. I was like, no, it's gonna have to come out. So. But
yeah, sometimes people are just. I think a lot of people are full of trauma. Yeah. And they're blocking their own blessings, as I like to say, because in the family, because you're hating on your woman or you're hating on your man, you're not communicating, you're not connecting, you're at war with each other in your own homes. You're abusing each other in your own homes. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? You need to either learn how to communicate and create boundaries, or you have to separate so that you can elevate. You need to elevate. You need to be around people who are going to allow you to elevate. You can't be in a constant drama. Do you know what I mean? So some people have to find their backbone and put people in their place. And sometimes it's scary because people don't like confrontation,
And also,
but it's worth getting over.
Yeah, and also I feel like another reason why people find it scary is because it completely changes the dynamic of their life, because they're like, imagine a life without this person in my life. It's scary because, like I said, that reptile brain is so familiar, and people get so comfortable with things that are not okay. But because it's like, well, most of my friends look like this, like, especially if you come from a toxic upbringing, when your friends start behaving in toxic ways, you're like, well, this is what my life looks like. So you become used to it.
Yeah.
But you don't actually realize, like, you attract your tribe. I truly believe that. Like I was saying today, I'm so blessed to have the support system that I have. And although it's very, very small, it's amazing.
Listen,
like,
and it's only getting smaller.
And
and it's not bad.
Yeah, and it's not bad at all, because those people respect me, know me, love me, and the energy is reciprocated on both sides.
Yeah.
There's not one person in my tribe where I can't call and say, I need this, or I need this guidance, or can you help me with this, that I wouldn't do for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So none of us feel like it's give and take. None of, even like my close family members, like I feel like there's nothing I wouldn't do for them that they wouldn't do for me. And that's the sort of energy that I need. But also there are people who have an amazing work ethic, determined, pushing themselves every day to be the best version of themselves, which only motivates me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're the only people that I want to be around. They're the only people I want to be speaking every day, because quite frankly, I don't have time. If it's not inspiring me, or I'm not learning, or you're not helping me look at myself from a different perspective and picking me out, saying, Aaliyah, do you know what? You could have done this a bit different. Or you're not for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're really not. And sometimes I do think to myself, it'll be so nice to have a group of friends, or we could just do like girls' holidays and stuff like that. But like, I do have friends like that, 100%. And I love you guys if you're listening. But also, I mean, like, solid, like bread. Do you know what I mean? A sisterhood.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like me and Chanel, which you will see in the next few months, like we've decided we've got each other, but we're going to be creating that ourselves. You know what I mean? We're going to attract those women in our life, even when it comes to our business, our team, our partners.
Yeah.
You know, we are going to create a strong foundation, because we're going to allow people to be them, but we're also going to let them know when something's not okay in the most polite manner.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is like, I feel like you do get to a stage when you're manifesting and working on yourself where you become completely and utterly confident about your plans, your dreams. You start thinking bigger and doing bigger. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes that will threaten the people that have seen your journey. And sometimes you think that the people that have seen your journey would support you the most.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But they're stuck over little petty things like, oh, you didn't go to their branch, or you didn't meet them at the park, or you didn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm personally not hung up over no petty shit.
Yeah.
Do you know
100%.
what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna have an issue with someone, it's gonna be because they've done something.
Yeah.
That's fuckeries. Do you know what I mean? I'm not hung up over petty things because I'm too busy. Do you know what I mean?
Working on myself.
Yeah, and it's like, we've got some massive plans, and I'm like, I said to Ali, I said, I said, my circle's gonna get so small, like, because my circle's small in terms of like, because you said earlier, people probably think I know I've got loads of friends.
Like, Chanel is a bit of, from what I've witnessed, I've been her friend for about, I'm gonna say like 7 or 8 years.
I'm
trying to do the age thing. Yeah, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, about 7 or 8 years. And like, she always came across as just someone who was like, I would say a social butterfly, but not like the most eager social butterfly. Like, because she's curious about people, she's kind of happy to engage and talk and, you know, just kind of get to know people. I feel like that's naturally your nature. So I feel like people kind of have that perception of you that, oh, she just knows a lot of people and she's got a lot of followers on Instagram and she's with this person at this event. Or the truth is, she hardly goes out, to be honest. She's very selective. No, it's no word of a lie. She's very selective of where she goes and who she spends her time with. But also I feel like, because people do know Chanel is wise, she's on her stuff. She is a bit mysterious. People are curious. Oh, how does she do that? Or how does she get that? And how's she driving that? And da-da-da. I feel like people do latch on to her a little bit. But like I was saying to Chanel, I feel like the energy is not reciprocated. Like, people will call her and say, oh, can you help me with this? Or what do you think of this? And can I get your opinion on this? But then it's like, I don't believe you have the full confidence that you can call those same people and be like, sis, what do you think of this? And feel like you're getting a genuine response that doesn't involve any hate, even if it's a little bit. Yeah. And a lot of time I feel like a lot of people don't realise it because they are projecting, they lack self-awareness.
Yeah.
But there are people who, when they say things and you're a bit like, eh?
Yeah, you know what I've noticed about people is that they slip in and out of consciousness.
Oh,
they slip in and out of consciousness.
Started.
Yeah, so like when they're in a relationship, especially like if their relationship's a bit pants. Yeah, this is turning into a bit of psychology.
I know where you're going, yeah.
Because do you know, it's so interesting. It's like they're in a relationship, so when you're talking to them about maybe boyfriend stuff, they'll be like, oh girl, no judgment, blah blah blah, don't worry, it's okay, you can work through everything, because they're in that space.
Yeah.
But then when they're in another space, you'll be hearing completely different thunder.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So that's something you have to be aware of as well. It's like
yeah.
people will give you advice based on where they are at.
Yeah.
And this is why it's important to know yourself. Do you know what I mean? And this is what the last part of this
trilogy
it's going to be the relationship with self and how you really talk to yourself, how you really discover
and
yourself.
Like me and Chanel always say, like, because we feel like we are at a stage where we know ourselves and we are deeply connected with ourselves, a lot of the time we know the answers, and a lot of the time we're quite confident in our answers, but sometimes it's just nice to have someone listen. Sometimes you just want to be heard, and you just want to express and voice your opinion, which is healthy. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of the time when I call Chanel, it's not because I'm necessarily looking for her to tell me what to do, but her support and guidance sometimes reaffirms that I'm not going mad. Do you know what I mean? Because we think the same.
Yes.
So I have that privilege where I have got friends where I'm like, I know she's wise, I know she's conscious, I know she's connected within herself. So whatever she says to me is not any type of projection of her own issues.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I feel like this is when you know you've kind of elevated to a certain level, when you know you can listen to somebody's situation without projecting your own shit onto it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm single, or whether I'm seeing someone, whether I've broken up from a bad situation or I'm in a happy relationship, but if I'm talking to my friend, I'm always going to give her impartial advice. I'm not going to be a man hater today. Like, don't get me wrong, I've gone for my little man hatery moments. Like, a couple of years ago, I was going through a phase of like, men are trash. But the thing is, I wouldn't say it all the time, and I weren't that serious about it. But I was hearing a lot of stories about some stuff, and so I was like, oh my God, these guys are evil.
I think that kind of happened for a lot of women when men started to get exposed, when social media started to become a thing.
Yeah, you know,
I think it was a bit of a trend.
I heard some stories, and some guys, look, they're just trash. That's where they're at. They're not necessarily going to be trash forever, but they're just in trash mode now. Okay, but you know, so some guys are listening to madness, and I was a bit like, whoa,
it is a lot.
But anyway, but I just think that it's just important to really know yourself, because a lot of people are projecting a lot of trauma, and sometimes it's your mum. Yeah. Sometimes it's your mum that is full of trauma and abusing you, and it's like it's not easy, but when you really learn to love yourself, it's not okay for anyone to abuse you, and you're going to realize it. Do you know what I mean? And it's harder when it's someone that's super close to you like that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not even trying to be like, brush it under the rug, but it is something that you have to set yourself free from, because you will grow from it. And they will also grow from it. Because if you allowed someone to keep on abusing you, to treat you in ways that you don't like, to constantly push past your barriers, especially when their behaviour is toxic, you're just enabling them. So you're also
she's always in my head.
Yeah, so you're actually you're not helping them. Sometimes people will allow abuse to happen to them because they think they're saving someone else. Yeah, you're not saving no one, sweetie.
No, boo boo.
Or sir. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because I see guys do it too. You're not saving no one, you're just enabling. So you're not saving yourself, and you're not saving the person. Do yourself a favour and create your boundaries, and if they're not listening, disconnect or keep a distance. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So we choose We choose, and it gets to a point where it's, even if someone's constantly abusing you, it's actually your fault now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And taking control back where somebody is tearing you down, knocking down your confidence. Because some girls won't speak up even if a girl's just being mean.
Yeah.
A bit mean to her. 100%. Do you know what I mean? Like, you speaking up and pushing past your fears and communicating what's not okay for you will open doors for you and create bridges for you.
You drop so much weight, like it's so freeing.
It will set you free. The person might be mad like hell, but you set yourself free. Mm-hmm. That's happiness.
And ultimately, you know, if you're voicing something that you don't like, you'll see that person's true colours. Like sometimes it does take experience. I think we were saying this earlier. Sometimes it does take experience for you to see what someone's really about. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're doing the same things every day and, you know, you live kind of a samey life, you do one little holiday, you don't really have, there's not really anything wild or different that happens which might make you look at someone a bit different, and that person might have to behave in a different manner than what you're used to. Do you get what I'm saying? So unfortunately, yes, in life we do have to go through some shitty experiences before we are able to be like, that's not right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we all do. We all actually do. And I feel like when I was growing up, I didn't really have much insecurities. Oh, actually, I did. I hated being tall. I'm 5'8".
I went through that phase too.
Yeah.
We're both 5'8".
Yeah, we're both 5'8". Although, like, me and Chanel have noticed on camera, like, a bit off topic, but Chanel always looks taller than me, but it's because she's got a longer torso and I've got longer legs.
But we're the same height,
But the same height. And I went through a phase of I used to hate being tall. I was like, no.
I did, yeah.
I'm going to have no boyfriend that's taller than me.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I put on my heels and I was like, yes, girl, I can see above all your heads in the club. Like, I loved it. It made me feel powerful.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I feel like, you know, we all have our own insecurities, but at the same time, I don't personally feel like I've necessarily intentionally projected on my insecurities on anyone else.
Yeah.
And if I do look back at myself and I'm like, was you just projecting how you were feeling that day? Do you know what I mean? Like, honestly, like when you become, I feel like I have practiced becoming so accepting of people. And because I can become so accepting of people, it allows me to be in full control of what I will and what I will not tolerate and who's for me and who's not for me.
Yeah.
Because there's actually some nice women out here who are really nice people. Do you know what I mean? They're cool. But at the same time, I'm like, but you're not really for me though. I can't really get down with you like that. And I feel like if I can't sit there and talk about everything, when I mean the universe, the stars, the aliens, business, money, relationships, family dynamics, happy times, sad times, then no, I don't want you in my tribe. Yeah. It's a waste of my energy.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? What am I making space for you for? It's taking up space.
Yeah, it's also knowing yourself as well, because it's like, if you know you're a person that's like giving, loving, you have a clean heart, you know, you don't speak bad about people, you're honest, you are generous, you can't be around people who are stingy and envious. And do you know what I mean? Especially if you're a person, a lot of time when you're a good person, there's going to be a lot of people that will kind of leech to you, and some people just won't like you because you're a good person.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how it is. No, but for me personally, I don't focus on that, and I never have. But I'm a realist, so I do try to look at the reality of things, even though sometimes I do have a little bit of a sugarcoated perspective on things, which I don't think is bad.
Yeah.
But I'm very realistic about things as well. So as much as I'm like, I know I'm a likable person on the surface, I know that there's certain people that just won't like me because of certain things. Do you understand? Yeah. And it's honestly because I'm not perfect, but I'm kind of got some things together. I've kind of got my plans. I know that my strengths threaten some people. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you will think to yourself, but I'm even doing the most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like doing the most. I know some girls out here are doing the most though. And sometimes people will just have an issue with it. And you consider and think, I'm not even but sometimes people will just have an issue with it just because you're making moves, because you're progressing past them.
And
do you know
also,
what I mean?
I feel like people also don't like it when they don't know what you're doing, but they're seeing you reap the benefits of whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
People find it so confusing.
Yeah.
And when people don't know and don't understand how that person got themselves to that space, they do become haters. They do become a bit like, oh, how did she do that? Oh, she did that because a man did it for her, or It's always an automatic negative.
Yeah, and also because it is as well, knowing yourself, like, I know I'm not like that, so I don't really want to be around people that are like that.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is, like, because I don't care, like, I've always said to Aaliyah, I did this from day dot, innit? I was like, I know that our biggest customers will be people that are external to us.
Yeah.
Because in business, a lot of time when you start business, it's not going to be your friends that's going to sustain your business. Do you know what I mean? The reality of it is that you only have so many friends. Do you know what I mean? If you actually want to start a business, it's going to be external things to that. But me being a person I am, I really, really enjoy seeing other people win. Like, I do. Like, I'm like, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
But a lot of people don't want to see you. They don't want to see you even get even close to where they are. Do you know what I mean? And then if you're bypassing where they are, it makes them very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
and that's all internal things to them, with them. Do you know what I mean? And you can't allow the external world and where people are not necessarily happy for your whatever it is you're doing, or even supportive, because sometimes you'll want to start something new, or you want to travel, or you'll want to study something, or go somewhere, date someone, whatever it is you want to do. Some people are not going to appreciate it. They're not going to support you. Do you know what I mean? And then even when they know you've gone out, you've done it, and you've succeeded in certain things, they're still not going to say congrats. Well done. Unless, and some people only ask because they're just nosy. Do you know what I mean? So we have to know ourselves well enough to know what our own boundaries are, what we're bringing to the table as an individual, and what it is where we're positioning other people in our lives around our table. Do you know what I mean? Who is sitting around your table, and do they have the best intentions for you? Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like this year,
my table are limited.
Yeah, I feel like the past couple of years have really been showing me a lot about people, and things like again, it's learning. As soon as you think you know, and it keeps me so humble.
It does.
Like, I'm confident because I believe in myself. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like I can overcome whatever I want to overcome.
Yeah.
So not that everything's always going to go perfect, but I feel like I'm going to get there, you know? But I feel like you do need to know what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you're not aligning yourself with people that really share certain morals and principles for you, you're always going to feel like you're being a bit short-handed, like because there's not an energy exchange there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And people who don't fit in with your morals and principles, you're going to confuse each other. You're going to, the behaviours, you're going to confuse each other. If you've got a person that's hella honest and a person that's shady as heck, you can't do business.
No, you can't.
You shouldn't lend each other money. Do you know what I mean? Because you have a conflicting moral alignment. It doesn't align. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so know yourself, then you can know who you're around and make better decisions about
and also
who you have in
as
your
well,
life.
I feel like people have to realise, because I have some close friends who will be my close friends forever, but also knowing how to nurture relationships, although you are going down different paths, but that person hasn't directly done anything to offend you or disrespect you. Do you get what I'm saying? And sometimes people can't handle when their friends are going on different paths, so instead they just disconnect completely and make up some kind of projection in their head as to why they can't be friends. You know what I mean? Like, I've got a really close friend who is literally my sister for life, and although we don't speak every day, like, she's just doing her thing and I'm doing mine, but I know she's celebrating me. Do you know what I mean? I know she's seeing my small wins. And I know even if she don't say it to me, I know she'll say a prayer for me though. Or she might meditate on some shit that I've told her about. Do you get what I'm saying? I appreciate those friends. So I feel like we also need to, the grass isn't always greener. Do you get what I'm saying? And sometimes if you have got a friend who, you know, they maybe they haven't got enough time for you because they are busy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure me and Chanel have collectively got a couple of WhatsApps that we ain't opened for days because we're busy, because we are, but that's nothing personal to you though. Do you know what I mean? And as a friend, I expect you to accept that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the sort of friend, if I don't get a response within 24 hours, I'm not sending you no shady message saying about, oh, you airing me, or do you know what I mean? There's people that are like
get
that.
Your back up. Some people just
have a chip on their shoulder.
Just upset. Man.
But look, while we're on the topic, let's talk about what toxic or imbalanced people look like. So we'll just reel off a couple. So depression, is a serious one.
It is. And the thing is, like with depression, is that it's, if someone's depressed, they can't help that they're depressed. Do you know what I mean? Even though I personally believe that there's certain things that lead people into depression and there's certain things that keep people there. And I do think that depression is something that can be cured. The person has to want it. The person has to want it. They have to want it. So like, with depression, it can be classed as a mental health disease. You know, it's a lot more complex. So when we use it in terms of like a toxic trait, some people that suffer with depression can ultimately be projecting a lot of negative energy. And a lot of time, unless we're like, there's different levels of depression. I feel like I can talk about it because I feel like I want to explain a little bit because some people get their back up. But my mum suffered with depression the whole of. We don't speak now because she suffered with depression. Do you understand? When I was growing up, that's all I know is what that looks like. Do you understand? So, and most of my family suffer with depression, right? So I understand it, and I'm speaking from experience when I say this. Depression is something that can happen to you because of your genetics, or you've been through a lot from a young age, or because something tragic or crazy or painful has happened to you later on in life, or because somebody has inflicted a certain amount of trauma on you, you know, or because you have a really bad way that you look at life. Do you know what I mean? With a lot of people, depression, it's something's happened to them which has got them stuck in a moment in time. Do you know what I mean? So I understand it, but the energy is, if you're around someone that is depressed on a regular basis, it is most definitely going to lower your vibration, and it's going to have an effect on you, because when people are depressed, it usually means that they're in a stuck state, and that is something that they have to want to get out of themselves. If they ask you for your help, or you offer your help and they say then cool. But trying to bury someone out of depression, you end up burying yourself with them.
Definitely,
it's one of them ones. So it's tricky.
I agree. And another one is people who kind of dwell in self-pity and a victim mentality, which a lot of the time I think is self-inflicted. It's by choice. It's by people choosing to live their life a certain way. It's by people choosing to accept certain people in their life. And I feel like people just wait for life to happen to them, and people don't realize that they have to create their life. They have to take control of their lives. If you're someone who proactively does that and doesn't blame everything on the world. I know for a fact everything I do in my day-to-day is a reflection of what's going on in here, in my heart, in my vision. Do you get what I'm saying? So something goes not my way, I look at myself straight away. Do you get what I'm saying? How did I contribute towards that? They're the sort of people that are going to help you raise your vibration. So if there is someone who's always in a victim mentality, okay, yes, your mum might have gone through this, and yes, you might have gone through that, but unfortunately, we all have our own journeys, which does involve some kind of trauma or pain. So if we all sat here and just dwelled in our trauma and pain and didn't learn how to navigate through it, it would all be, to be fair, that is what everyone does. And that's why we live in a society we do. Yeah, most of people.
Yeah, we do. Most live in a society where, and it's mad because a lot of conscious people, do you know what I mean, because at the end of the day, unless people start acknowledging their bullshit, that's true, do you know what I mean? And I feel like I can say it boldly because I check myself for my bullshit regular, do you know what I mean? And I know how I stay. Do you know what I mean? There's not a lot of someone could really say to me like, now I'm gonna be like, what do you
there's nothing no one can tell you.
What do you mean?
There's nothing no one can tell you about yourself that you don't know.
I know it. Do you know what I mean? And I know where it comes from. Do you know what I mean? I know myself, so I know how
funny, because some people take that as arrogance. Like I've said to people, some people say that to me, and I'm like, do you know what? I know I'm working on it. But I say it so calmly, but it's the truth. I'm aware and I'm working on it. I'm because so you're sorry.
Unapologetic about your flaws. Or what perceived flaws there are. Do you know what I mean? Because again, we're all just humans, having a human experience. So as I'm saying, when people are doing these things, sometimes it can be hard not to take it personally, but really they are just projecting their own trauma and their own poverty mindset and their own fear. Do you know what I mean? And I can't take that. This is 2020. I can't
Honestly.
take that shit personally. I understand enough now to know that that shit's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
That's got nothing to do with me. So do you know what? I am at a point where I'm like, I see
Yeah.
I see everything.
Yeah.
And it's almost, it's mad because when you get to different levels of consciousness, I'm at a place where I'm glad I see it,
Yeah.
but you see a lot. And I went through a phase where I was like, I don't want to see everything all the time.
You know why? Because you realise how fucked up people are. No,
Yeah,
seriously.
you do.
Do you know what I mean?
But then you get to a place where you're like, and you get to a place where you want to save everyone.
Yeah.
I just want to have the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Aaliyah are not trying to do that.
Yeah.
Straight. Like, we're not trying to... Some people think that we just got this pink love yourself to success page that's full of happiness and bubbles, and it is full of happiness and bubbles, but it's only for, really, the message is only for some people, because there's only some people that are ready to internalize what we're talking about. Do you know what I mean? And we're cute, you know, we keep it simps. We try to not get too complex, but we can get hella complex
if we need to.
Do you understand? Yeah, but so, you know, as the channel grows, we're going to expand on things. And whoever is on this journey with us together, we're going to get to that place of being like Neo in the Matrix.
I hear
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, life really is a bit of a game.
Yeah.
And you get to that point where you understand the codes of the game. Do you know what I mean? And
it is a game.
you don't take certain things personally because you understand everybody's roles in the game. You understand your own role in the game. Do you know what I mean? And it's not a game, but it is a game at the same time.
I want to go so deep right now, but I'm just going to wait.
Do you know what I mean?
It.
We're just going to reel it out
Yeah.
like as the weeks come along. And that's the saying, the information is going to be cute, but it's going to be real. And honestly, like, if you want to level up, people that are ready, we only want to work with people that are ready to level up. Do you know what I mean? And it's all a process. People make mistakes. We go up, we go down. But we're here about ladies that want to level up. Like, I don't personally care about old friends. I don't care about contacts that I make. They say whatever in it. If we keep in touch, we keep in touch. But this year is not a year for play, in my opinion. Some other years were play years, and it's not just because of, it's 2020.
It's the age of the Aquarius.
Yeah, it's the age of Aquarius, the age of awakening. It's the age to anything that you're suppressing, anything that you're holding in you that's low vibrational, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And
it's going to come out.
Yeah. Aaliyah and I have worked through certain things already. So we want to send a message to women that are ready to level up, that are ready to tap back into the realness, women that are ready to let go of their ridiculous egos, women that are not trying to be caught up on the Instagram hype, like women that are just we're not about women that are in competition with each other and
who are so
y'all can race against each other.
Yeah.
That's not what we're looking for. Do you know what I mean? We're looking for women that want to learn, want to grow, want to elevate, want to support, want to connect, want to create, want to level up financially, mentally, spiritually, everything, 360. Do you understand? Like, we're on that 360. Yeah, 360. That's what it's about. Do you understand? That's what we're working with. And that's why when you're leveling up on those levels, not everyone's going to understand it. Not everyone's going to appreciate it. Most people are not going to support it until they see you next level. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And
until you're next to someone that they idolize or something like that.
And it's when you die.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I know that if I died tomorrow, I know what the fucks people would say about me.
100%.
I know what the fucks people would say about it. It's actually quite irritating.
It is.
That women and society, because guys are the same, that society is so broken and so scared that they don't want to... They just don't want to... It's like Django. Yeah. Did I mention this before in the podcast?
No, you didn't.
Django. Do you know Django, the film?
Yeah.
Where the black guy's sitting on the horse. Yeah. And then the other... Jamie Foxx sitting on the horse. And the other black guy slaves like in chains looking up at him like...
What? Yeah.
Why you on a fucking horse?
Yeah.
I'm fucking walking. It's that slavery mentality, man.
It is. And it has us all trapped.
Yeah, you know, and as black people, because we make this show for women, it's not just about black women, but speaking as black women, a decolonization process needs to happen because we've been programmed.
Yeah, we have.
Do you know what I mean? To feel lack. We've been programmed to feel jealousy because we live in a state where if you're not chasing after the cheddar, after the mullah, after the shmoney, if you're not doing the most, and you're not doing what the next person's doing, then you're behind. It's a lie. True. It's one of the biggest lies that's ever been told to you.
It's an illusion.
It's absolute illusion, and it pisses me off that so many people are sucked into it, because I just sit back and I just be looking at people like,
wow.
Or even on my social media, I'm like, wow, you salty as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. And I see it, but I just think it's such a shame.
It is. It really
It's such a
is.
shame. But we want to create more of a collective and a community of women that are actually trying to level up and actually we're going to create we're going to help you get into the mind space where you can genuinely, you're so happy within yourself that you will look at your sister and another woman and another person, and you'll be like, if you know them, you're going to be like, oh, I'm just so happy with my own life. I'm just happy you're winning. Let's all just win.
Yeah, 100%.
That's where I'm at. It's like,
and it's quite interesting because some people pretend that that's what they're about, and they're not. There's so much girls, especially right now on social media, like, oh, my girl's winning, oh, I can't wait to see you do this. And
or they're like, self-love.
Yeah, and I'm like...
And it's just nonsense.
Yeah, it doesn't show in the actions.
It doesn't show in your actions because so many girls are so scared and precious about their social media. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'm just like... If I see another woman doing well and I'm supposed to post something, or I'll just post something or show some support, and send her a message, be like, oh, girl, you're doing good.
Yeah.
So when your own family and your own friends can't do that for you, you should look at it and make assumptions about that. If someone never supports you, what you're doing, or never has...
your network.
We have to be aware. And I feel like it's a bit, I speak about it with passion because I feel like it's a disease.
It is a disease.
Within people's minds. And I think the more that people are self-aware about it, is the more they can work on it and heal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Deep down inside.
Those last 10 minutes where I was like, woo, she's going off.
Because that's what I'm about. Like, this is part of why we do what we do.
No, 100%.
Because we love women. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love people, man. Do you know what I mean? But we have a soft spot for women, and we have a passion for self-development and truth and information that is going to bring you something better in your life.
And I think because we've experienced it firsthand, and we've seen how much we've worked on ourselves, like really and truly, do you know what I mean? Worked on ourselves and focus, and we've seen the benefits of it. Why would you not want everyone else to be on the same level? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Let's wrap up with a little exercise that we think, me and Chanel will do, and we are going to advise you guys to do as well. So one is write down who tends to demolish confidence or someone who's abusive to you. This is really just about looking at taking yourself out of your life, putting your emotions aside, and really weaving out the people who shouldn't be in your life. Do you know what I mean?
Identifying
Yeah. So definitely do that. Feel free to burn it after if you would like, if it's a form of release for you. But definitely have a look at, who do I need to move from my life? Who drains my energy? What relationships one-sided where I'm just giving, not receiving anything back? The world doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Mother Nature doesn't work like that. You have to give to receive. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise you will feel like you're running on empty. It's not fair. But ultimately the choice is yours.
And can I just say, like, another woman's beauty, another woman's success, another woman's intelligence, great style, humor, charm, wit, hair, body,
goofiness,
whatever it is,
it
doesn't take away from you.
It doesn't
take away from you. Like, we might think like all these things are in our face, and these girls look like this, and or they're perfect, or everyone's looking at this kind of girl, and everyone wants this kind of person, or it's just be your best, innit? And the right people will appreciate you for that.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Everyone wants everyone to love them. Why does everyone need to love you for? Why you need to be famous? Why you got to be Instagram famous? And some people probably hear me saying that and think, do you know what I mean? But my intention is not to be Instagram famous.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? My intention is just to be a businesswoman and to create exposure in terms of whatever it is I want to expose. Do you know what I mean? So if people look on my Instagram, you can see that I'm not an Instagram girl that's looking for fame.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
That's just my little thing. And Instagram's like a business platform for me. But I'm not knocking no one that wants to be famous. But sometimes I think we have to question why.
Again, it's disease.
Yeah, why? Why do you need everyone to know who you are, know your name?
100%.
What are you doing for you to even want people to know your name? What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You're modelling boohoo all day and you want people to know your name. Like, no offence, because I know some boohoo models and ASOS models and cool chicks.
And
some
I
of
do
them
buy
are
from
conscious
Boohoo
as
sometimes, and I buy
AF.
from ASOS
Do you know what I mean?
sometimes too.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that not everything's for everyone. And everyone just wants to do this. Every guy wants to be a footballer. Every girl wants to be an Instagram girl. Come on, we have so much we can do, and if you love it Instagram, we could do it Instagram.
And there's so much more than the world needs than instant gratification. Do you know what I mean? But next week we are going to be talking about the ultimate relationship with your damn self. So we're really excited. That will be the last part of this series about relationships.
Yep, because when you strong up yourself,
anything is possible.
Nothing else matters.
Yeah, honestly.
Too much. Everything else will just fall into place.
100%.
You know?
And we will probably retouch on these subjects from a different perspective as time goes on.
Yeah.
But again, we really appreciate if you could like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you could subscribe and leave a review on one of the audio platforms, that would be amazing. But we'll be in touch next week with another episode. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys.
Mwah.